Good morning and Happy New Year. I'd like to call the Tuesday, January 3rd, 2017 Organizational Board Meeting to order. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we are now to the invocation, which will be given by Commissioner Shotwell.
Please all bow your heads. Good and gracious God, watch over this commission for the next 2 years as they do your work. We are your servants working for the good of all. Please watch over us and guide us in our decisions. Amen.
Okay, I will now call roll. Commissioner Leitner? Here. Commissioner Walls?
Here.
Commissioner Rice? Commissioner Duckham?
Here.
Commissioner Shotwell?
Here.
Commissioner Tompkins?
Here.
Commissioner Mahoney?
I'm here.
Commissioner Placzek? Commissioner Elwell?
Here.
All right, we have 8 present. We are now to approval of the agenda. I'll entertain. A motion by Commissioner Duckham with support by Commissioner Rice. Any additions or corrections? Okay, seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, agenda has been approved. And I need to fix one thing here. Okay, we are now to public comment. Anyone who wishes to address the board, please step forward.
Peter Bormuth, I just want to wish everyone a Happy New Year.
Any other public comment? Seeing none, public comment is now closed. We are now to Resolution 01-17.4. I will entertain a motion. Okay. Any discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
No.
Okay, motion carries. We are now to election of the chairperson. Are there any nominations from the floor? Okay. Any other nominations? Okay, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of appointing Commissioner Shotwell as chairperson, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Congratulations, Chairman Shotwell.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
At this time, I'd like to entertain a motion for nomination of the vice chair. Motion and support. Any other nominations? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Motion carried. We've now arrived at designation of standing committees. Have a copy of that? It's not attached here either. What's that? No. No, we're doing the standing committees first, Phil. We will move on to external board appointments, if everyone's comfortable with that, and return to standing committees upon arrival of the document. We're at the airport board. Current member Rodney Walls is up, will be appointed to a 2019 term. Rodney, are you willing to serve? Yes. Any other nominations from the floor? Seeing or hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. Board of Public Works, term filling out the end of Commissioner Alexander's term, which will expire in 2018. Dr. Alan Tompkins is the applicant. Is there any other nominations from the floor? Seeing or hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. Community Planning Committee. This is an alternate position. It's an indefinite position, and the assignment is only if the first commissioner cannot attend. Is there any commissioner willing to serve as the alternate?
I would.
Okay. Any other commissioners willing to be nominated? Seeing or hearing none, all in favor of Sarah Leitner, so please say aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Fair Board, one commissioner position, expires 2020. Sarah Leitner, current commissioner, applicant Sarah Leitner. Any nominations from the floor? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Duly carried. Health Food Protection Hearing Board, Carl Rice, expires 2019. Carl Rice Jr. and John Palachek are the current applicants. Carl Rice Jr. has agreed to serve. We're going to have to speak to John. Carl?
I can say this now. Mr. Chairman, I talked to John. He is out of town, and he would like to serve.
Are you willing to nominate?
Certainly, I would nominate John Palachik.
Thank you. Carl Rice Jr. is an applicant and is nominated. John Palachek is nominated from the floor. Any other commissioners? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. Hospital Finance Authority. Term expires 2018. Current member, Daniel Mahoney. Applicant, Daniel Mahoney. Any nominations from the floor? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. Judges meeting, we'll have to wait for the agencies, wait for the standing committee vote to see who the chair of Agencies and Affairs is, and that's an automatic appointment to that chairman.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, ma'am?
we have some policies for review, and I know one of them was appointing, like vice chair, personnel and finance, and I know this is one of those, and I can't remember if that falls under that policy as well that we're voting on today, where it's an automatic appointment. And I just wanted to bring up the point of when we get to that, maybe it not some of these not necessarily being automatic appointments. Just kind of a comment, I guess.
Okay. At this time, we will move on, though, on the agenda. Parks and Rec Board, Commissioner Member Julie Alexander. It's a 2020 term. Requests for nominations are James E. Shotwell Jr. and Dr. Alan Tompkins. Any other nominations from the floor? Seeing nor hearing none, Madam Clerk, could you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Leitner? Commissioner Walls? Commissioner Rice? Commissioner Duckham? Commissioner Tompkins? Commissioner Mahoney? Commissioner Elwell? Chairman Shotwell?
Shotwell. I'm going to ask the vice chair to finish these appointments. I have to speak with the administrative assistant about the standing committees. I'll be right back.
Next up is Region 2 Planning Commission, one commissioner member, expires.
Mic isn't working. I can't hear you, Fred.
Okay, better? Can you hear me now? Okay. Region 2 Planning Commission, one commissioner, expires 2018. This will be finishing out Julie Alexander's term. We need a nomination from the floor. Be for Region 2.
Dr. Tompkins, is that one that you'd be willing to take, that Julie had? So nominated then.
Okay, we have Dr. Tompkins nominated. Anybody else, any other nominations from the floor? Okay, all in favor of Dr. Tompkins, please indicate by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, none. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Tompkins. Go on to Michigan Works, South Central, or Southeast Michigan Works. We have two members, terms expire 2019. First member, Sarah Leitner, she has applied. Second member, John Palachik. Commissioner Rice, do you know?
Vice Chair, yes, again, he contacted me, we had a conversation, he would take this appointment, so I so moved John Palachik.
Okay, any other nominations from the floor? Okay, all in favor of Sarah Leitner and John Palachik, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, passes unanimous. Next up, Street Naming Addressing Committee, one commission member. It's an indefinite appointment. Whose current member was Julie Alexander. Sarah Leitner has applied. Any other motions from the floor? Okay, all in favor of Sarah Leitner, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously. Supervisors Liaison. This is a chair appointment. Commissioner Rice is currently serving. Commissioner Rice has applied. Was that with the chair's blessing? It says chair's appointment.
You're the chair right now.
Okay. Yep, you got it. Just didn't know the history here. Okay, all in favor, any other nominations from the floor? There wouldn't be any because it's chairs. Okay. All in favor of Commissioner Rice? Please indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Okay, last one here is traffic safety. Commissioner member. Term expires 2019. Current member is Sarah Leitner. Applicant is Sarah Leitner. Any other applicants from the floor? Thank you. All in favor of Sarah Leitner indicate by saying aye. 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 Those opposed, the same. Thank you. You have it, Sarah. That's the end of our appointments. Meeting schedule. Let me find my app here. We are on 9A. We'll look at the meeting schedule for the next year. Any conflicts or comments?
Mr. Chairman, just to confirm that the administrator has confirmed that there's no conflicts with any conferences or anything else that we have through the year with the proposed schedule?
Yeah, that's correct. If you see there on that one calendar Delane put on there, she actually highlighted those as well. However, I'm not aware of any particular other training session or program that the commissioner might have, so this would be the time, if you do know, And again, it's not that we can't change the schedule down the road as time allows or as called for, but we try to put it up well in advance for everybody to have.
Any comments? Do we have a motion? Do we have a support? Okay. We have a motion support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the same. Thank you, Board. We're on to item 10, adoption of resolution 01-17.1 to waive the administration fee and interest for senior citizens. You have motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously. Okay, on to item, running one behind here. Item 11, appoint the county administrator controller as the Freedom of Information Officer as required by state statute. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Thank you. Next up is the approval of the attorneys list. You have the list there for you. Any discussion? Commissioner Elwell.
Just to ask if there's any additions or deletions from the current list compared to this one, Mike?
No, we have no additions or deletions, and as you all know, I always say we have a stable of attorneys. We like to use the appropriate attorney for the appropriate action.
We have a motion and support. All in favor indicate by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, the same. Passes unanimously. Or item 13, adoption of board rules. Everybody got one? Mr. Chair, you ready to take back over? Yes, sir. Thank you. 13, sir.
We had to start.
So moved.
Mr. Chair? What prompted this change, or suggested change? Has there been a problem with that, or, not that I'm opposed to it necessarily, but?
Administrator Overton?
When, in reading it, we thought it was a little vague when it talks about meetings, so we said, well, let's just put a date or a time to it. So we said 2 days.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, because these are all separate policies. Duckham and give it to Leitner. Any more comments? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Policy Rule 4030. Entertain a motion. We have a motion and support. Any questions? Seeing or hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Policy 4040. Entertain a motion? Any questions?
Mr. Chair, just to
Yes,
point
sir.
out, looks like the most significant change is changing the time on the public comment period from 5 minutes to 3 and then from 3 to 2. And I got to say that I don't think we often have people even hitting 3 minutes in our meetings on the 5-minute ones, so I think it's an appropriate change and probably follows most other local governments, I think.
Any other comments? Seeing nor hearing none, all in favor, please say aye. Policy 4070. Entertain a motion? A motion and support. Commissioner Leitner.
I think it's 1A2, is it not?
Anyways, I don't know. It was the section that said that the chair or vice chair is automatically the ex officio, which I agree with, and then it was the vice chair automatically being, you know, a certain personnel and finance, and then I'm also referring to like county affairs and agencies chair being automatic to judges committees. But for some reason, I can't find that section.
Go to section 2, committee assignments there. I believe that's the one you're talking about, ex officio members of standing committees.
It is
Yep.
4070, right?
That's part of it.
That's part of it,
Right,
but
right.
that's normal. But there was a, I don't see it now. I guess never mind. I'm not seeing it.
Mr. Chair?
Yes, sir.
Sarah, if I can, I don't want to interrupt you if you're not done, but I wanted to address the one point you're talking about affairs and agencies. And that's a committee that I've chaired for some time, and the chair of that committee is a liaison with the courts, and I think that is the most appropriate position to serve as a liaison, especially with everything that reports to that particular committee, including the courts. I just think it's the most appropriate thing. And it's not because I chair the committee. Somebody else will be doing that someday, and I'll be fine with that they serve as a liaison.
Dealt with Matt.
I'd be happy to, and I see it as a great resource.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Duly carried. Completed the board rules. I'd like to return at this time to item 7. The standing committee's chairmen would be County Affairs and Agencies, David Elwell, Vice Chair Rodney Walls. Personnel and Finance, chaired by Vice Chairman Phil Duckham, Vice Chair Sarah Leitner. Human Services, Chair Carl Rice Jr., Vice Chair John Palachek. Any questions?
I move to concur with the chair's appointments.
All in favor, please say aye. Those opposed? Now, I also remind our fellow commissioners that you may attend any of these meetings, and Personnel and Finance will not be occurring at 10 p.m. on Monday, but 10 a.m. At this time, we've arrived at the second opportunity for the organizational meeting's public comment.
Peter Bournemouth, I wanted to speak to the board's action reducing the amount of time for public comment. I feel like it's inappropriate because there are a lot of times when the member of the public is up here trying to address a complex issue, and 5 minutes is not a lengthy amount of time, and it rarely happens actually that people, take that much time, but on some issues, it's very necessary to be able to build a coherent argument, and 3 minutes is a very short amount of time for that process. I don't think there's any problem with changing the second amount of comment, but I'd like to see you consider retaining the 5 minutes in the first public comment period. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment?
I'm Jim Shotwell. In spite of what you may have heard, I'd just like to wish you all Happy New Year and congratulate you on races well run, and thank you for taking on the committees that you've taken on for the county. I know how much of a job this can be from having a little personal experience in it, and you'll be doing a real service to the county. Thank you very much.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Public comment is now closed. Commissioner comments? Commissioner Rice?
I'd just like to say I appreciate the opportunity to chair the Human Services. I've been very involved with Human Services for years, and I appreciate the opportunity. Thank you.
Any other commissioner comments? Commissioner Duckham?
I would like to thank the members of the board that supported me for vice chair. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other commissioner comments? Seeing none, at this time we will stand adjourned until 9 a.m. when we begin our study session.